Hey folks, how's it going? This is Iron Seagull here, back with another Sims 4 mod video. Though this one's different from what I usually do. Instead of showing off one or two mods, this is a compilation of ones you can download for free right now, no Patreon paywalls or anything like that, to make your own realism gameplay pack. Over the past few months, a bunch of really cool mods have come out from various creators, and I realized that while we got no expansion pack last fall, we could at least have something between a stuff pack and a game pack with these mods when put together. We'll start off by talking about a couple of different creations by Lot51, the first being Sims Link. I actually did do a full video about this one already, so if you do want to check out an in-depth gameplay video, I will leave a link to that in the video description below. But basically, this mod makes it so that when you move Sims into a lot, you have to actually have a router set up so that you'll have access to the internet and TV and the radio. But since doing that video, this mod's gotten even better because this also applies to commercial lots and owned businesses. So you may be wondering, okay, yeah, for residential lots, you would call up a technician to install it for you, but with commercial lots, how would you go about doing that? And, well, there's actually an active career in this mod too, so you can have your sim become a Sims Link technician and get work orders, and you can choose whether to take a job at a residential lot or a commercial lot. However, if you play with as many different households as I do, which is a lot, you don't have to worry about doing this whole process every single time, because you can buy a router out of build mode, and if you shift click on it, then there is a cheat to instantly subscribe, so you can bypass the installation process. And there are also some cheats listed on the download page, so you can instantly subscribe to the TV and radio as well if you want. It's also worth noting that all you need for this mod is the base game, so you can just buy The Sims 4, update it to the latest patch, and you're good to go. You don't need to buy any expansion packs or other DLC to make this work. If you have City Living though, there is one nice little detail that I really love, because if your Sims do not have the TV service installed yet, you can already watch the Civic Public Access TV channel. So it's like, oh okay, you already have the very basic cable. Overall, I very highly recommend getting this mod, especially if you are stuck with only the base game, because there are no active careers available in just the base game. You have to buy specific DLC such as Get to Work, or Get Famous, or Dream Home Decorator. The other Lot 51 mod I want to mention is Ding and Ditch Smart Doorbell. It is base compatible as well, though it is better with Parenthood and Eco Lifestyle. I was not expecting to like this little mod as much as I do. It's just a doorbell, but it does have a surprising amount of options. Like, you do have the different sound options like you did in The Sims 3 if you have enough handiness and programming skill. And there's also an off-the-grid option, so you can actually make it run on batteries. And you are able to ding dong ditch, and you can also do it with a gag bag, which has fruitcake in it in my case, but it can also apparently have pet poop if you have cats and dogs. There's also the option to have a notification show up in the top right corner whenever any sim rings the doorbell, and there's even a visual ring option which offers an alternative alert designed for deaf and hard of hearing simmers. When you have it enabled, any number of lamps in your home can be enabled to flash a red color 3 times whenever the doorbell is pressed. There's even some nice little details, like if you have Snowy Escape, then Sims with the technophobe lifestyle will prefer knocking on the door still. But you do have a motion detection option, so you'll still know when they show up at the door. All in all, some very nice realistic options here, and even brings out a little bit more personality for your households, like say if you do want to set a certain ringtone noise, or if your sim is just a neighborhood prankster and goes around ding-dong ditching everyone. After I'm done this video, I'll probably go around installing more doorbells in all my households, since there's still quite a few I need to do. The next mod I'm going to spotlight here is Plumfruit 2 by Arnie, also known as Sims Plus. And of course, just like always, he makes some really great mods, and this one is no different. It does revamp the phone UI, so you have different looking phone skins, and the phone itself looks different when your sim is using it. And there's new apps on the phone. There's also some very Mac-like things that you can buy, including the tablets and the iMac, which is pretty cool because I'm actually recording this video on an iMac right now. And there's even the option to have custom wallpapers using any pictures you've taken with your Sim's cameras. So you can use those on all your Plumfruit devices. But there's also a dating app, and my personal favorite bit is Simstagram, where you actually do have a working social media platform in the game. This is something I've wanted for a while now. So you can actually upload pictures, you can make posts, and you can have followers, you can get notifications of Eliza Pancakes blocking you, you can respond to comments. It's really interesting, and it's kind of fun, like, adjusting to having just, like, daily life gameplay with this in mind. Admittedly, I do find the UI a little confusing to navigate at times, and sometimes the text is a little hard to read on the phone menus, especially when you do receive a random text from another sim. But overall, I still recommend this mod. It has some really cool stuff going for it. Next up is the SimNation Travel mod by Adeep Indigo, and this one is a pretty big game changer because it completely revamps the travel system. Unless you do hit the M key to travel to a lot, you can't just instantly travel to anywhere you want anymore. You will need a driver's license, or a bike, or a subway pass to get there. Traveling internationally and vacationing is also affected, so that you will need a passport in order to visit those places. I think this mod might be the most clever use of cars that I've seen in The Sims 4 so far. Yes, the cars are just taken from the world decorations that are already in the game, and your sim does just swipe at the car and put it in their inventory before they travel, but it is still pretty cool how your sim can get a driver's license, and if they're a teenager, they can go to the rabbit hole to get driving lessons. One other great thing, in my opinion, is how when Sims go on vacation, all the Sims in the household leave the lot, and then they're at an airport rabbit hole for, I think it was about an hour or so, and then you hit the loading screen and go to the map, so your Sims actually are taking some time to travel somewhere. So it's not like in the vanilla game where you could just travel from Windenburg to Sulani and no time passes at all. As much as I love that all worlds are in every save, I do find it really awkward just how unrealistic the travel system is. Oh right, I almost forgot to mention there is a new Season Traveler aspiration with this too. Though with the nature of this aspiration, it does require several packs, including Jungle Adventure, City Living, Snowy Escape, Outdoor Retreat, and Island Living. And while you don't need it, Frank's Language Barriers mod also helps to enhance the gameplay with that aspiration. And there is also a Travel Critic career, and this one requires City Living. It works like how a lot of careers work now in The Sims 4, where you have the option to either travel to the rabbit hole or do work from home tasks. Next one on the list is Home and Land Company by SimRealist. I did do a full video on this before. Basically, this adds more mundane but realistic tasks for your Sims to do, including lawn mowing and ironing. There's also detergent that you can use instead of food and flowers for your laundry if you'd like. But since doing that video, they've added one other major feature, which is a towel system. So if you have laundry day, you can have the laundry system on your lot, but that will also include towels, not just your clothes. So every time your sim takes a shower or a bath, they'll put on a towel for a little while before putting on their everyday clothes. But it will use up a towel each and every time. Each towel pile has two uses, so if you do have a big family, it is recommended that you have multiple towel piles, but they do cost only 50 simoleons each, so they won't be a huge expense unless you're running really low on cash. But if you keep letting your sim shower without any towels, whether they've run out or you just didn't buy any at all for them, they will get a negative buff after showering, since they will feel very uncomfortable from being wet and just not having anything to dry themselves with. But once you have bought the totally essential towels from build mode, then you're able to replenish the supply after your Sims have done the laundry. It just restocks automatically after you've taken all your laundry out of the dryer. This mod, I'd say, is pretty niche, so I don't think it will appeal to everybody, but if you do want to go with that full-on realism feel, then definitely give this mod a try. If Home and Land Company does appeal to you though, you'll probably love this next mod as well, the Functional Broom by Mitsuyuki. And this one, you actually don't need Bust the Dust. It is definitely better if you have it because you can use it to bust the dust just like as you would with a regular vacuum. But you can use it with just the base game too. One small detail that I love with this mod is that occasionally while your Sims are sweeping, they will stop for a minute to just take a breather and rest their arm on the broom. And there is supposed to be more stuff coming in future updates, such as support for kids to use them, and the ability to break and repair the brooms, create brooms on the woodworking table, that's really neat because I keep forgetting that object exists in the game, and support for the dust aspiration. The next mod is a very simple one, but it's become one of my favorites, and that is Bed Cuddle by Low Poly Pancake. One thing that I miss a lot from The Sims 2 is how Sims would actually cuddle in bed if they're a couple. And yep, that mod basically brings that back to The Sims 4. So yeah, definitely is something that I use quite a lot since my couples, well, sleep every night. So yeah, pretty cool. And on top of that, there is even a little buff that they get for a bit after they wake up, where basically it's just about, oh, it was so nice cuddling in bed for a good night's sleep with my significant other. Next mod creator I'm going to talk about is Ravasheen. She's built up quite a catalog of really interesting mods, and I have shown off some of her recent ones, such as the birdhouse, the composter, and also the journaling, and even the ability to make your own custom memories. All very cool, realistic mods that I definitely recommend checking out, and I have done videos on those. On top of that, there is also the Celebration Retail Overhaul mod. Unfortunately, this is the one mod in this video that I have not had the time to play around with, since I don't actually get around to running businesses all that often. But from what I've seen and heard of this mod, it is really good as well, and it is a more flexible version of the retail system without actually needing Get to Work. And one shocking thing about a lot of Ravasheen's mods is that they are base game compatible. Even that birdhouse one that I mentioned earlier, that very obviously borrows from Cottage Living, nope, you don't need Cottage Living, you just need the base game. Last but certainly not least, I've got to mention Panda Sama and their mods, which are mostly for toddlers at this point, and that's really cool because I feel like Panda Sama has made toddlers a lot more fun to play around with. I have done multiple videos showing some of their creations, but not the ones I'm showing off here, because their most recent work at the time of making this video is a pack that has a toddler crib, a car play set, a food truck that's like a toy food truck where they just make toy food, and there's also, not pictured here, but there's also some Play-Doh, which works similarly to the clay blob that we already have in the base game. So some really cool stuff, like wow, Panda Sama even figured out how to get a working crib for toddlers. So if you do have a lot of families and you want to play with toddlers more often, then I super highly recommend checking out Panda Sama's toddler mods, and realistically, yeah, some of their stuff does remind me of my own childhood. Alright, I almost forgot, in this footage, the dad actually has the childish trait, so he's playing with the food as well, not just the toddlers. And that wraps up another Sims 4 mod video. So if you found this video useful, feel free to share this with your fellow Simmers, because maybe this will help them out too, and maybe even get them playing the game again. And feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, what you think of these mods, or if you've been using them, or if you plan on using them. And be sure to subscribe if you'd like to keep up with my latest gaming content, including life simulations and more. So I will talk to you all later, and have a great day. Thanks for watching!